So we're back, and I'm the youngest of the Clone God Village in organization, and I'm here with Olga. And all month we have been putting up small videos about mothers and what it's the struggles and some of the beautiful things. I think that everybody talks about many books that we get to read, you know, how to be a mother, what to be expecting, and really when it comes to it, the books are very provide very little to no help. But today I wanted to talk about something that at 42 years old now, I know that I'm guilty of, and I've forgiven myself for it, and I try to identify it little by little, more and more. And I think bringing awareness to this topic is, it needs to also be brought up, you know, on Mother's Day. And I want to talk about toxic mothers. And from my perspective, I thought that a toxic mother meant somebody who doesn't fit their children, who, you know, abandons their children, abuses them in you know, physically these horrible things you see sometimes on television. But in finding out and in opening up my awareness is we can be toxic mothers without even knowing. And for myself, I have identified different ways that I am a toxic mother. And again, awareness is the main thing. And now knowing is, I try to stop that and retrain myself and not to do that. I'm a yeller. Since I'm the youngest of all, I feel like all my life I needed my voice to be heard, and that's the way I got my children to do certain things. And that affects that has a negative effect on our children and those relationships that we're trying to build with them, which is one of love, and for them to know that they are perfect the way they are. And even when they make mistakes, they're not mistakes, they are lessons. And so I wanted to talk to you about that because I know we have experienced that at different levels, and being guilty of it, not just yelling. You know, I have pulled, again, my oldest is behind the cameras today, and I know I pulled his hair out of frustration, not knowing how to handle what he was explaining. And I know that we come from a very set culture and mindset, and you know, with no disrespect to our mother and the wonderful things that she did and her language of love, but there was some toxicity there that I think we can openly probably talk about, and talk about that with love, right? Because our parents, and as a mother again, in talking about that, there isn't an action that I do, whether it comes across toxic, that doesn't come from a place of love and from a place where I think is a good thing for my children. And you know, I've had this conversation on a, you know, some smaller scale with my son, because he understands some of these things and he brings up some very great topics from their perspective, and just learning that I don't have to yell when I'm frustrated, or I can take a step back. We actually came up with, you know, when he was a little younger, with okay, Mom, if you use this trigger word, and I can't remember what it was, we'll both take a breath and walk away, because we're not going in the, you know, we're not communicating in the same direction. So not being able to communicate is a way of being toxic with our children. So let's touch base on that. I think we can learn a lot from it. You know, coming from two different perspectives, me being a mother now, and realizing again that we can be that just based on how we were brought up, or in thinking that this is what being a good mother is, right? Like if your child ditched school for the very first time, which I did, and your parent not knowing how to deal with that, because I am the first one that is going to school, and I just wanted to be accepted. And from her place of love came a lot of anger and you know, toxicity. And I didn't need that at the time. At the time, you know, it was I was going through something at school. I wanted to be accepted, and I didn't understand my mother's, our mother's, where she was coming from at that time, right? That toxicity just came. But now as an adult and a mother, I realized that it all came from a place of love. So yeah, we can stay here all day and have many stories, right? But we can take up all the time. So can you tell us about maybe an experience like that where you actually see it now, where it came from a place of love, and back at the time it didn't feel like it? And I know as a parent we feel like we're protecting, we want to protect our children and we try to build these walls, but it comes across very toxic.
The way I see it, to be a toxic person, it's a very thin line, and you can be a toxic mother, a toxic sister, partner. It's something within, but the way I see it and the root of it, I see it's because we were not taught how to deal with our emotions. And then when it comes with emotion, it's all pops out and it bursts and explodes. And it could be love, it could be anger, it could be fear, it could be any emotion that you have within. And then no one told us